Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Happy New Year. We want to know, what are you buying? Hey, I guess I should have did the disclaimer that we've been running on the channel, right? Nothing you see here is going to be financial advice. So I'm just a dude sharing some thoughts, quite honestly, with you. Happy you're here on another fantastic, super duper, most excellent live stream. And how was your new year? What did you guys do? We gave them a good old fashioned Victorian New Year's Eve celebration. Got them wooden blocks. They got rickets. We set them up to be chimney sweeps. So fun all around. An orange in the sock too. Steve, you worried the heck out of me saying that the system keeps blocking you from posting. So I set these up as you have to be a member for 1 minute, or as not a member, a subscriber, right? I see you guys posting. So yeah, whiskey, you always throw me off, buddy. I set it up to be from subscribers because if you guys remember when I didn't do that, you get hit with the porn bots, and it's fun for about 5 seconds and then it gets really annoying. So I hope you guys don't have any more problems with that. And these, yeah, Steve pointed out 200 episodes coming up. I guess I always forget, usually on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday morning when I'm setting these things up. I'm just like, oh, yeah, that's right. We're on 194 now. So we'll talk. There's a little bit of news, right, in the world. I mean, if you've been living under a rock, we've got something that hasn't happened since I was in grade school. You have the leader of a country just, I guess, kidnapped, I don't know, extradited, forcefully extradited, whatever you want to call it, and brought back to the U.S., right? Manuel Noriega. So that's no, Steve. I hope you're not a spam bot. You're right, whiskey. It's the welding channel. It's the hair care product channel. You know, some might say we're stuck over here in the 1950s, but you know what? The people at IKEA didn't seem to matter, which is where we went. One of the largest privately held companies. Will they ever go public? I can't even speak. I don't know. Maybe. Bought one share of SCHY this week. That's all I bought so far. I'm really liking Costco, though. It's getting in the right direction. We can look at that stuff if you want. Billy, morning for you, evening here. You're in the future, I guess. You're over there in the Philippines, so talking to the future people. Yeah, we'll look at news again. What did you buy? I did a little bit of familiarizing myself with the whole situation going on with Venezuela. And if you get the newsletter, you see that they talk about the circle of what you should pay attention to. Quite honestly, it should be what's important and what you have, or what really matters, or what's important, and then what you have control over. When you overlap those two, what's in the middle of what is important and what you have control over is what you should really be most concerned with. So with the whole thing going on, honestly, as a 47-year-old service technician, welder here in Chicago, it's really going to have minimal impact on my life. I don't think we're on the precipice of World War III. So, Tux, yeah, you guys, I think we're going to see a pop of Chevron tomorrow, but Darth, I don't even know anymore, like what BITO is. Is that a... Here, I'll look very quickly just to see what it is. Bitcoin ETF. Well, yeah, I think Bitcoin popped right after they announced that they got Mr. Maduro, but I don't know, man. I guess it's better than it does. Dude, is this leveraged? I'm just really quickly looking. I see it as a 76% yield. I don't know, man. I would have to look at the total return of this stuff, but I gave up. I don't like any of the yield max products. Almost every time, even Neos, people were all up on Neos with like SPYI, but still, almost any time frame when I compare it to just VOO, the S&P 500, on a total return basis, it still underperforms the SPYI, all these leveraged funds. And I think it's very simple that fees are a real drag on performance. I think we're seeing that in real time. These 1% expense ratios, that's a real fee that affects return. And then you also have the nature of the covered calls being limited. That will limit the upside. So there's a lot more dancing in and out and selling options. And it's just, I don't know. Could be wrong here, but from what I've seen, nah, not me, not me. But yeah, what did you guys buy? Well, the news will be quick. So when we get to it in a minute, it'll be short. But how does the total return look on that, Darth? So what is the point of that? I mean, if you could just buy the underlying, so I would almost assume if instead of buying BITO, you just bought Bitcoin or just bought the plain old Bitcoin ETF that has no fancy derivatives attached to it, that it's probably going to outperform. So I'm super skeptical. I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I know a lot of people, right? If you guys follow the channel, when I was dumping on MSTY, Yield Max, is it ULTY, stuff like that. Just, man. Yeah. So in the newsletter, you guys, I did share, and this is interesting, that Venezuela, yes, it is the largest oil reserve country, but they account for about 1% of global oil production per day. And there's an oil oversupply right now here in Illinois, in Chicago area. Gas is at almost a 5-year low. And yes, I'm not bragging, because I think we have the second highest gas tax in the country. Again, I can't control that. I do vote, but still, that should tell you something, that it's not pre-pandemic level low, but still, I'll take it. And yeah, I mean, what are we really going to be able to control with this whole situation? I'm not in government. It's going to be for the courts to sort out. So yeah, there you go. But Chevron is the only Chevron is the only major oil company that is left in Venezuela. I think they had a special arrangement with the Maduro regime. They were paying money to him to operate there. So they have a massive head start after like Exxon and ConocoPhillips all left Venezuela. So that was an interesting news thing. And I wanted to get excited. I went on social media, and it's almost like, oh, yeah, the right loves it, the left hates it. And I'm just in the middle saying, like, what are the facts? And is this going to affect my day-to-day life here in Chicago? As I drink from my Nightmare on, I was going to say Elm Street. I can't think, I'm blanking. Nightmare Before Christmas. That's my daughter's mug. Yeah. Adam, that sucks, man. My wife also hurt her leg. Here in Chicago, we have a fun place that we donate to called Catcade. And we go there a few times a year. It's $20 a person. You get to spend an hour with a bunch of kittens. They got video games. I'm okay with my cat, Louie, but they all want to get another one, a friend for him. But we, yeah, anyway, my wife hurt her playing with these little cats on the floor. We're getting up there in age. Can't do that anymore. Darth, if BITO is not leveraged, how are they getting an almost 80% yield on that? What are they doing? Because obviously Bitcoin has no cash flow component to it. So how are they just selling call options on it? D's, yeah, SCHY, I'm up to 133 shares of it, and I like it. Compared to a lot of US companies, it's still looks still undervalued. Or I'm sorry, on a price to earnings ratio, a lot of the counterparts to the US stocks that are over in Europe look to be undervalued. So there could still be run up. There might not be. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows the future, which is what makes all this so. Hey, I'll buy Skynet when it comes out, right? I got to find that shirt. I turned it into a bed shirt. So the way it goes here is I cycle through t-shirts. I donate some shirt, or here, I'll start it the other way. I'll buy a shirt I like. wear it for years until it gets kind of ratty and old. Then it becomes a sleeping shirt. And then I cycle through. Then the sleeping shirts that I haven't worn in a long time, just garbage or donate those. So the Skynet shirt may have gotten donated. I don't remember. It was a sleeping shirt, but oh, what's up, man? Jace, we're gonna do something together. He's down there in Australia, and I was like, hey, he's a blue collar guy too. We should just talk, record a video. Yeah, Adam, I know you have been one of the Chevron guys, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. They might get a little bit of a bump up, but there could be some FOMO pushing that thing up. I don't know. A lot of times, if you buy after the news, it's going to be too late. So we'll see what happens with them. We'll look that up, Darth. Well, I don't know how to. Yeah, what is the. You know what, Darth? Because I like you, man. Let's do this right now. I want to see here. Just for my own joy, fun, and entertainment. Let me get this set up because I didn't plan on going to Dividend channel. I'm sorry about your Ohio State there, Darth, right? They lost in the playoffs. All right, let me share this. So what is BITO, what is the Bitcoin ETF? Just let me see if I can find it. I put in Bitcoin. Some of you will agree with that. Somebody throw it in the chat. What is the Bitcoin ETF? I can just Google it real quick. I know there's the grayscale one, right? Let's see what we got here. Bitcoin ETF is, I should know this ticker. Yeah, come on, Google. Is it just BITO? That's Bitcoin futures. I see. But I want just the IBIT. I think it's just IBIT, right? That is the, all right, now I'll share this with you guys. So let's see what you guys said here. Holy crap, look at you guys in the chat. BITO, yeah. Let me just look up for the fun of it. I'll look up IBIT and BITO. Let me share the screen here. So this is, if you guys want to do this and play along at home, you can always go to dividendchannel.com, do the drip return calculator. Where am I gonna, there we go. That's what I want to do. And then you go to BITO and IBIT. Let me look up the IBIT inception date because that will, I want to give the longest return as possible. January 5th, 2024. So you go like that, right there, 2024. Then do till today, BITO versus IBIT. And it's going to use January 11th as a start date. I need to share this tab instead. So what we're looking at here is the, right there, Darth. This is what I'm saying. I'm assuming you guys can see this. I got my phone going. Phone. So IBIT has had a return of total return of 91.29%. And I don't believe that IBIT pays a dividend, right? Let me see while you guys are looking at that. And I look over here at Simply Safe. I don't think IBIT pays a dividend. So here we go. IBIT does not pay a dividend. So to me, it looks like it literally just invests in Bitcoin. That's it. So IBIT purely tracks the performance of the price of Bitcoin. And BITO, the one you were talking about, Darth, I mean, check that out, dude. So the thing that does not pay any kind of a yield has a 91.29% return in almost 2 years, but BITO, which has a high yield and has paid $23.55 of income, has a 72.33% return, dude. So I just can't, I don't understand them. Almost every time I do this for any single leveraged futures, derivative, contract, whatever you want to call them, high income ETFs versus just the plain Jane, pays no yield, very low expense ratio. It almost always has a lower total return, and sometimes, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I know some of you want income, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just never get it, and never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Yeah. So that's awesome, Eddie. I agree, man. Come February, we'll all be on to something else, but I don't know. Let me see what else I missed from you guys, because you guys are just chatting away quick here. I love it. I love it. If I skipped over you and it's two, and it's you had something really important, repost it, because I don't want to get too far back in the chat. There's some of your buys. Eddie, you bought VTI, Zoetis. You're buying Zoetis, Palantir, and SCHD. A lot of hate for SCHD as of late, right? We've talked about that. Darth, you bought Chevron. Nice. MPLX, which is the Marathon Petroleum. Yeah, the Marathon Petroleum owns them. I don't remember their name, but MLPX is what I own. That's the Global X MLP and Energy Infrastructure ETF, which I do believe MPLX is inside of MLPX. I don't, very confusing, right? You also bought Enterprise Products Partners, Energy Transfer, and ExxonMobil. Mobile. Portfolio for Kevin buying Costco, man. A lot of you, a listener to the show, Matt's, he told me he's buying Costco. And we can look at that. Now might be a fair time to buy it because the 5-year price to earnings ratio is about 40. The forward PE is expected to be right around 40. So it's probably, I did not see what Adam is doing with, oh, there he is. Adam bought Kenvue to take the extra 8% if it goes through, right? If it goes through. So Adam is doing something called arbitrage, right? He is looking for the market, I guess, is saying there's a 92% chance that the deal is going to go through, and that 8% spread on the price per share that is going to happen and what it's trading at now is what you can make up. So a little bit of arbitrage going on there. Very, very nice. What's up, Jay? I just read your comment, man, from the guy that when I shared my 2025 results said, hey, this is all on an Excel sheet. You could be making it up. I'm like, I could, but I mean, it could get a little confusing if I broke everything out and tried to show all the different websites. And I mean, I would have to do 3 different accounts in Schwab. I would have to do my 401k, my wife's, I think those are the major ones, but and then they're like, and how much capital have you put in? I'm like, dude, I started contributing in my 401k like 23 years ago. I don't know. Like, that would be really hard to find out. They wanted to know my cost basis, right? How much money I have put on and then how much is gain. I was like, dude, I don't know. That's, yeah, I guess maybe because they're thinking like I just came into $550,000 yesterday and put it into the market and all in one day or something. But Eddie, I hope you don't have to do that. Jason, what's up, man? You harvested some gains on Google, bought the VIGO and DGRO and VYMI. Those are all dividend growth ETFs. I'm curious to know, you're selling growth to buy income. Why not just go with one of those? What is because those are all same church, different pew, right? Netflix did not benefit from their stock split. Yeah, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but obviously, right, when the stock splits, nothing has changed about the company except the stock price, right? It's still the ooh. Yeah, you got me thinking. Let me see if I could import this image file really quickly, because I know there's somebody watching that hasn't seen it. Bada bing, bada bing. Look at that. Now this was, what company did I do this for? I don't remember. I didn't put it there. 6-for-1 split. Whoever it was. On the left here, there's, I don't think this was Netflix, was it? On the left, you got $300 per slice, $300 per share, right? And on the right, after the split, they do a 6 for 1. It's still $30,000 total. It's still the same size of pizza. Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed except the pieces of the pie are smaller. And when you add all those pieces up, it's still the exact same size market cap company the moment the split happened. So, yeah, it just doesn't change the size of your pizza, just the number of slices. And thank you, my good friend, for letting me bring that out. Hey, Michael, what's going on, man? You bought some Prologis this past week. I worked at a few Prologis buildings. Yeah, we were talking about BIT overs IBIT a minute ago, and offers high yield monthly distributions. That's the word I'm looking for. Anything that's offering a high yield monthly distribution almost always going back long enough underperforms the reference asset, whatever it is. So it doesn't give you direct Bitcoin ownership. So yeah, Duffy likes the Neos. Yeah, I just did that with SPYI. I went back to the inception date for SPYI, which is Neos, and it was better, but I I don't know. We'll say it was like a 16% total return. VOO would have been 70. It was really close, but regardless, even reinvesting the dividends, it still underperformed VOO. But there he is, my guy, Larry Longballs. What's up, man? It's always going to make me laugh. So, anything on Netflix lately? We watched Stranger Things, and it's not on. We actually paid. I'm a big horror fan. Looking at my Pennywise poster there, so we're watching Welcome to Derry. But as far as movies, Dumb and Dumber is always a good one. 6 months in for you on BTCI. Left the drip on, and each of the 6 payments kept getting smaller, still holding the payments as are large, regretting this gamble. Yeah, and again, we don't know what the future will hold, and I'm just talking about what happened in the past, right? That's a fun thought. We are all experts on the past, what happened, but none of us are experts on the future because nobody knows the future. That's the most important thing also. Oh, Beak, what's up, man? Where did you go in London? We were just in London in June. Kinsale is treating me well. There's no new investments other than I still like it. It's been a valuation reset. They had 20% revenue growth. They were a very fast growing company, and that's slowed down to the mid to high teens. So a lot of people were really paying up for that growth. And this is one thing to worry about with companies that are, priced to perfection, is that if there's any kind of slowdown in the growth, any hiccup, then they're going to get crushed. And that's exactly what happened. So I started that Kinsale position at 379. Then I got a share in the 360s. And I think mid 350s was my last one. I have 3 shares. It's up around 400 now. And I'm hoping for the mid 370s again, which is probably dumb, but that's what I'm doing. So it's still solid. They are excess and surplus lines of insurance. So think very specialized insurance is their bread and butter. They do it better than any other company in their industry, and their combined ratio, right, which is the difference between what you pay out and what you take in float, or that's float, but in premium. So insurance companies, they pay out and they take money in. If you have a combined ratio of 100%, it means that you are break even. If you're 102%, you're losing 2% on the difference between the money you take in and the premiums you're paying out. But I think I'm explaining this right. But Kinsale's at 76.4, which is hella good. That is crazy top notch. And that's a number to watch. So I know I didn't mean to. If anybody's read the Berkshire annual letters, you become very familiar with combined ratio, because every year Warren would talk about it and show how they were at like 108%, 107. He was always trying to get under 100, but he would say, well, remember, we're also making investments with the float. So factoring that in, we're a little bit below 100, but because of gap, we have to show that we're at over 100% for the combined ratio in the insurance business. So uh, I'm very happy with Kinsale. Again, still slowly understanding the business. And yeah, the CEO, Michael Kehoe, he came over with a couple other people from a competitor, and they started their own thing, and they've done very, very well. Man, I love tea. Mm-mm. Darth thinks Walmart is underrated and hopefully more dividend growth. They could be a little bit overvalued right now, I think, from what I've seen on some estimates. But again, when in doubt, zoom out. And this is what I should do with Kinsale. And it's hard because nobody knows the future. But if you you zoom out on any stock, I always think of this, speaking of Warren Buffett, when he bought Coca-Cola in the 80s, right? People said he bought it, and in the late 90s, I think it had PEs in the 50, which was bonkers for a company like Coca-Cola. But Warren had said he regretted not selling it when the PE was at nosebleed valuations. But then I zoom out and look at the future, and it's like, but it worked out. It was a good company. They kept growing. They kept growing the dividend. They kept buying back shares. So you can get a little cute with that. Another example I heard was Google, that I got to find this number because I heard it in passing on a podcast months ago, that someone somewhere figured out, and maybe some of you know, that when Google first, or Alphabet, right? When Alphabet, ticker GOGL, when Alphabet first started trading, that you could have bought it at a PE of 400 something and still made money. And obviously, if we saw a PE of 400, you would say, if you saw a PE of 200, you would say, this is insane. I'm not touching it. You would have made money. So obviously every company, every situation is different. What's up, Ty Guy? You sold a cash secured put on a small cap sporting good retail chain called Academy Sports. I've heard of them. Good entry point. You know, if you plan on holding them for the long term, I got burned with JP Morgan. You guys have heard my story, selling a cash secured put. I should have just bought the damn thing instead of getting cute, trying to get it for a few bucks cheaper. And then it kept running up and up. And I over $20,000 that's cost me. Yeah, it sucks. But look at Larry. You just turned 48, man. Salute. I'm 47. I'll be 48 in April. All right, we're going to get caught up here so we can do the news real quick. Tux is happy with DIVO. You know what I like about DIVO? Kevin Simpson has a great book, Walk Toward Wealth. And his philosophy with that is he wanted to own the stocks. He didn't want to do any kind of poor man covered calls, or unless he's changed it. Last I read, and as far as I know, they own the underlying. So they own, if they're selling covered calls on Procter and Gamble, they own 100 share lots of Procter and Gamble. And if they don't see anything advantageous, they're still getting the dividend income. And, you know, that's why the distribution might be a little bit lower. So I did own DIVO for a little bit, but I think I sold them because I didn't like the expense ratio in the mid 50s, I think. But it's a boutique ETF. Boutique. It's not like boutique. It's a boutique. I don't even know how to say it now. It's a boutique ETF, and you do have to pay up a little bit more for that. It's not a passive. This is neither here nor there. We're switching fund managers for the 401k, and I was looking through them. So FX, it's Fidelity. It's 0.01% expense ratio, the S&P 500 from Fidelity, the mutual fund version. So you voted to approve the Kenview. Nice, Trevon. Well, I hope they get it. Please, nobody. Nah, not the Dairy Girls. I have seen that, and when I first saw it, I did think, hey, is that a Stephen King thing? Well, just joined Netflix today. Good for you, man. Thank you. As a shareholder through ETFs, I mean, do you prefer Pennywise the band or the clown? Well, About Time by Pennywise is a really good album. I got turned on to Pennywise in the uh, oh gosh, the early 90s. So that's a punk band from SoCal. They were on Fat Records, which is Fat Mike's label. And I really do like them. Yeah, Bro Him, they play it at sporting arenas now, which trips me out because when I was listening to Pennywise as a 14-year-old kid, nobody here knew who they were. But yeah. Uh, yeah, Jason Thirsk, that sucked. Their original bass player took his life, so they've had some stuff. But Fletcher, hey, you can't go wrong with Fletcher. And I don't care what people say that his guitar playing sounds heavy metal to me. I like it. It's unique. It stands out just like me. I'm unique and I stand out to you. That's why you keep coming back. So you get me going, man. Don't get me going on punk music because that's all you hear about. And I'll just start seeing the numbers start dropping off. So what is my opinion on increasing outstanding shares versus decreasing shares? I don't know what IPAR is, but in general, it's a good thing when companies buy back shares. Now, if they're doing it when the stock is crazy overvalued, it could be destructive to shareholders. It won't be beneficial. But if stock is cheap, they should be doing it. That's why Warren was pretty strict on that. He looked at a certain price to book and they wouldn't buy back shares. So that kind of tipped off investors that if Berkshire was trading below this price to book valuation, then that meant Warren and Charlie felt that it was at a fair valuation or potentially undervalued. So you want to add Uber and race, which is Ferrari, but Uber, I'm still, this is something I struggle with. Maybe I'll be better this year. I bought those 5 shares of Uber at $79.95. I've been waiting for it to get back below 80. And I told you guys, do you guys struggle with this? The other day, Uber was, we got to look up some stocks here and do some news. I'm just blathering. I'm having a blast here though, talking with all of you. Yeah, I bought those at $79.95, but if it's at $80.95, I'm like, I'm going to wait. That's probably dumb, right? That's being stupid. We expected that. Stan talked about that. All right, I'm almost caught up. Speak for yourself as somebody that's here in Chicago. Hey, look at the Bears. They fell ass backward into the number 2 seed. They lost. They lost to a team that's not even in the playoffs. So thank you to all of you Eagles and Nick Sirianni for sitting all the starters. That is like investing. That was probably being too cute. He should have been less stupid. Played his starters, got out to a big lead, and then call off the dogs, right? But what, say it real quick, Stan, we got to talk again, man. It's been a minute since we recorded something, but how much is Chevron up? We would like to know. Okay. So awesome. I love it, man. Don't worry, guys. This won't become the, AFI. Dude, Davey Havoc and Jade Puget, he's one of my favorite punk guitar players, and it's because he takes influences from 80s, from punk, from metal. It's so refreshing. So let's see. All right, now we'll do some news because thanks. Oh, no way, Darth. You went to, Duffy, you went to high school with Aaron Rodgers out there in California, right? Okay, news. It's going to be a quick news day, but so I just looked at something else I want to show you guys. If you don't follow me on Blossom, oh, wow. Yeah, that's kind of what we were expecting. And again, if you just tuned in, it is because Chevron is the only major oil company that's still in Venezuela operating. The others, Exxon, ConocoPhillips, they left. So this is going to be a really good head start for Chevron. And, we'll see. All right, some real quick news here. What do we say? News you can use. I almost shut the stream off. That's not what I want to do. This is what we want to do. Share the screen. All right. So we were looking there. That's IBIT. This is Simply Safe Dividends, and it's only 3 news stories, right? We ended last week with these two: dividend downgrade for air products and chemicals, ticker APD, which is in my industry. I should probably do better buying something that I actually know. Because what do I know better? Chemicals like air products, where I use not their gases, but uh, who do we use? Praxair, I think. I don't remember. I should know that. Oh, I can see their tag. Anyway, the point is I use those. What do I know about insurance, right? So that would probably be less stupid to buy a company that I know. Darth, you guys use oxygen tanks, right? You use a lot of companies like APD, but yeah. And then that was last week. Vici faces regional gaming headwinds. So they refreshed their outlook on Coca-Cola, who we talked about, and Simply Safe. When you see outlook, and Bollinger, he has a couple other crew members. They don't AI it, as far as I know, and I've been told. So, and by the way, follow their YouTube channel. That thing should be a hell of a lot bigger. For a little while there, I think they've outgrown my channel now, but like Brian Bollinger and the guys at Simply Safe Dividends, I know they just started, but they should not have a smaller YouTube channel than this one. But they give their own proprietary take on these companies, and they call it a quote unquote outlook, and then they will refresh it from time to time on those companies. So a couple news stories here. The commodity chemical business, right? You've got LyondellBasell, Dow. There are a few others that Celanese, ticker CE, is one that I luckily got out of a while ago. But yeah, it's just demand has fallen off a cliff for these specialty chemicals. And hey, these companies, they're treading water, but they're sinking, and dividends will be cut if things don't improve in a hurry. But they downgraded the dividend to 40 unsafe, and that is Dow, old company. And then last one, they refreshed their outlook. I explained it to you on Triple N, and I think a lot of you like Triple N in the same vein as Realty Income and Agree Realty. So that was it. See, that was it for the news. And I do want to share you guys. I don't want to share you. Never want to share you. This is what I want to share with you. Is this? Let me put the picture up, and then I'll. I tell you, did you get it? Did you get it? Here we go. Do that again. So I've came across this from JP Morgan. Posted it on Blossom. I had a lot of people give pushback. I think they misunderstood what I was saying. Is that these are the hyperscalers. This is the CapEx, which you see on the left side from Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Oracle. Is that CapEx? It's ballooning. It is going up, and it's expected to go way the hell up. And free cash flow on the right, the blue line is the operating cash flow. The green line is the capital expenditures. When you minus operating cash, no, I said that wrong. When you subtract capital expenditures, also known as CapEx, from the operating cash flow, which is also, right, the EBIT, you get your free cash flow, which is the lifeblood of the business. Because with free cash flow, broken record here, you can pay a dividend, you can buy back shares, you can carry that free cash as cash on the balance sheet. You can do things like mergers and acquisitions. I think I said pay a dividend, right? You can pay a dividend. So very, very important is free cash flow. And it has been consistently declining, where in 2004, it was 30% of sales. And now we are down to about almost 10% of sales. And all I was saying was, what will they recoup all this money? I don't know. How long will it take? We don't know. Will it ever happen? We don't know. I wasn't saying these companies suck. They're deteriorating. I wasn't saying that these companies are going away. No, they're revolutionary. They're industry leaders. They're going to make life a hell of a lot easier and interesting for all of us. But I found this interesting, and it's just a trend, right? We obviously, these gray bars, it hasn't happened yet. I hate to break it to you. JP Morgan And the analysts, they do not know the future. Just a guess. But I did find that very interesting that, yeah, it's great technology. I love using AI, but it's costing a lot of money. So, ooh, other energy stocks are ripping too. No kidding. Yeah, and again, if you just popped on, we were talking about this a little earlier that Chevron is the only oil major that is in Venezuela. So this is going to be great for them. And hey, it will be fun to see. And I haven't looked at one of the like capital trackers, the politician trackers, to see if anybody went real heavy into Chevron. Wouldn't that be funny? Like a week before this happens. So that's going to be good, I guess, for XOM. I have XOM still. Yeah, I had a small position in Chevron. We sold that. Let's look at Chevron real quick. Solid company, though. Very good, very good, very good. I like the one I saw the meme about Nicolas Maduro from from the Navy ship, the shot of him, and they they made him into a DJ. That was kind of funny. What are we doing here? Chevron. I haven't looked up any of your guys' stocks. So 155.90, I think this is where it closed. I don't think, yeah, this is a Friday. So they think the reasonable high end of that is 179. But yeah, solid company. Chevron was born 1879. How about that? How about them apples? You guys like apples? How about them apples? Me personally, I'm more of a beef guy. I like a beef sandwich. I actually just took my family to Mr. Beef yesterday. The original Mr. Beef on Orleans, the one that the Bears filmed at. But if you got to use the bathroom, there's no bathroom there for you to use. So make sure you hit the bathroom before. Bring yourself some hand sanitizer. You know, them beef sandwiches, you get them hot and sweet, or hot. It's hot and wet. Them beef sandwich, it gets everywhere. That juice is all over. Be all over your face and your shirt and your hands and your legs. And you give your kids it's like, Daddy, my face feels all greasy. It's like, because you got the beef juice it comes out your pores that quick. So anyway, Chevron dividend growth has slowed, but they paid an uninterrupted dividend for 113 years and 37 years of dividend growth streak. But they're getting ready for a dividend raise. Simply Safe, the way they do this, I guess I'll explain it. You see this gray shaded area. What they do is they do a 5-year dividend yield, or we can let's switch it to PE, where it's a lot different. So they give you two options. They do a 5-year average look back of the price to earnings ratio. They go 10% above and 10% below as a range. That's the gray shaded area. And the theory is that when the price is above, you want to wait, it's overvalued. And when it's below, you want to buy, it's undervalued. So on the PE, they think it's overvalued, which is nutty because it says expected price of 78 to 96, which is that 10% range above and below. But yeah, they think for this one, it's preferred. I don't know why. Yeah, it's our preferred value method for Chevron. Maybe just because of the high CapEx of them, I would assume. But there you go. Could be reasonably valued, but it'll be a little bit less so tomorrow. Yeah, this is Chevron. I know their free cash flow payout ratio solid. Little high though. I mean, what am I saying? Solid. 79. It's getting toward the high end, but yeah, free cash flow. It's cyclical, right? It's oil negative in 2015. So, hey, I think there could be a lot of people might lock in some profits tomorrow, but yeah, sales growth is weird. Like you get that. Well, that was COVID year, negative 33%. Yeah, you guys can see this little mouse, right? I made it a little bigger. I outlined it in red. I can't tell. Oh, wait, I don't think I can see it. Well, that sucks. Oh, you guys can't see. Oh no, you could see the mouse. Okay, it's so small. It's so small. I had to squint. Yeah, it just look, and this is one of the reasons I sold is just it's more of a income investment, right? But then obviously we're going to get a big pop. So I think I wanted something that had a better total return. And yeah, it's not going anywhere. I mean, that's coming up a little bit. Still has a healthy interest coverage ratio. If you just tuned on and you don't know what interest coverage ratio is, it's been coming down. When you see this 18.0, what it's at, this tells you how many dollars of operating income, also known as EBIT, your earnings before interest and taxes. How many dollars of operating income does a company have to cover every $1 of interest on the debt? Why is that important? Well, you've got to pay the interest on the debt legally. If you can't pay the interest on the debt, then you're going to default on your debt. And very nasty things happen to companies when they default on their debt. So this gives them lots of wiggle room. Not as nice as $81, but still, it's when you start getting around $1 to $2 of operating income, there's no wiggle room. And if operating income drops for a year or 2 years, then they might cut the dividend to you got to pay the interest on the debt. There's just no way around it. Dude, share it with us. What does your magic 8 ball know? I'd love to know, man. Hey, that's a good point, Steve. I know a lot of people don't want to pay for Simply Safe, or you can get a 2 free week trial with just an email address. So I guess if you want to create a burner email address every 2 weeks, you could use it. But yeah, Brian does give a lot of good interesting information, and yeah, you got to subscribe to Simply Safe Dividends on YouTube. Get them up, get them more subscribers than this channel. It's a crime if they aren't already. Oh, who's up for a rude awake, Charles? So I think you're saying Chevron went up 1758. Are you talking about shorts are in for a rude awakening? Please let us know. Yeah, I've talked about having Brian on the channel, but honestly, I mean, I kind of backed off of it. We were texting a lot more in like the middle of last year, but he's got, I think, 4 kids. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing that. And the dude's busy, right? He's a busy family guy. So when I saw he finally started a YouTube channel, I was like, this guy shares enough. Plus, he was with Ari, so he gave his life story with Ari Gutman. So, oh, yeah, that's interesting. Let's look real quick because please, gods of SCHD, forgive me. I don't remember the top 10 of SCHD off the top of my head. I know there's energy in there though, so that might give SCHD a bit of a bump. I was by Al's on Clark yesterday. We didn't go though. We went to Mr. Beef. So Catcade, it's on Clark, right by Clark and Belmont. Again, if you're in Chicago or passing through, check out Catcade. We love them. No, I don't have Lega and Platt. If you're referring to the video, if it was in red, I was showing 2024, comparing 2024 dividend income to 2025. And the positions that I sold out of that year, I put in red. So no, Lega and Platt I sold out of, took a big loss. I should not have stayed in it as long as I did. That was one of those where I missed my window of opportunity. And then I thought, well, I'll wait for it to come back up, and then it dropped more. I'll wait for it to come. No, and I just eventually took a big loss. William, yeah, no, I don't. I've asked Brian. He said he has no intention of ever doing an affiliate program or anything like that. So, hey, that's why I'll share it in the video and say, you can use it for 2 weeks for free, no credit card needed. Just throw in an email address, and yeah. So there you go. Okay, that's what I was going to look up. Cygnus Bob. But let's show it to everybody else because they say in the land of YouTube, show don't tell. So we will do that. Here's Seeking Alpha. What's going on? All right, we're looking up SCHDA, which on Seeking Alpha, yeah, I read Daniel Jones, which I don't believe this is the same Daniel Jones that is the injured Colts quarterback. Pretty sure he's not also writing articles for Seeking Alpha, but you never know. Anyway, if we scroll down, it will show us the holdings. Yeah, energy. Look at that. Energy. Look at that. This is SCHD. Energy makes up 20% of SCHD. Hey, Stan, I can hear him saying, trust the process. You never know. So I don't remember. I think we can break it down just in the energy stocks, but there are the top 10 holdings where you got ConocoPhillips at number 3, Chevron at number 4. And again, this is, I don't know how they do it, but sometimes if you go to Schwab's website, they will be a month or so behind Seeking Alpha's information. So this could change, but yeah, so we got Conoco at 3, Chevron at 5, and those are the top 10 of SCHD, which makes up 40% of the index. Hey, very interesting. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Look at that 5-year growth rate, CAGR, 9%. Come on. And, you know, there's a lot of people that love knocking on SCHD, and I understand it, but for us, it's 3% of the portfolio. It's income. I shared in the newsletter with Cullen Roche, who wrote a book about the perfect portfolio. They talked about it on Meb Faber's podcast, and they said to the effect of that, there is no perfect portfolio. The perfect portfolio, I guess I'm spoiling it, is what suits you, what meets your financial goals and meets your risk tolerance. That's what the perfect portfolio is. But I found it interesting that they said a good portfolio that's diversified almost always has some component that is underperforming or not doing well, and you don't like it because you see everything else performing well, and then you have a laggard and you think, this thing, I should get rid of it. Johnson & Johnson comes to mind with my portfolio. I sold, if you guys remember, 123 shares of J&J at $147. Had I held on like 6 more months, I could have had a lot of extra money, but it was underperforming. It was chopping sideways for quite some time. And recency bias, right? And here it is. Then it just, I told you, the world was like, hey, Russ sold Johnson & Johnson. Okay, everybody, let's go. Rocket ship up to all-time highs. And that's what, SCHD is a part of my portfolio that is underperforming, but could this be what turns it around? Don't know. Maybe. So we'll see. I have 600 some shares. Let's look. Again, show me, don't tell me. Who likes Rush? Do you like Show Me, Don't Tell? Show, Don't Tell? Was that the name of the song? Show Me, Don't Tell Me? Now I want to share this tab. Share this tab instead and go to portfolios. Geez, the time on these things just flies by. So this is 3 portfolios combined, 150K in this one. Again, this is not, I have a 401k, we have emergency funds, we have kids 529s, we have a travel fund, we have all kinds of stuff. So this is not my everything. But I know this is really small to read, and I'm apologizing, but where's SCH? Let's sort this by percent gain. Hey, I'm up 400% on Soxel. Nice. The year experiment is going well. Harrow, look at Harrow. My 2 biggest gainers are Soxel and Harrow Incorporated, they don't pay a dividend. What does that mean? I don't know. Lucky. Look at ExxonMobil, I'm up 172% on. That's fun. But it's because I have 44 shares at $45 a share. I'm going to be interested to see when that gets to zero and I get all my money back, and then those shares are free. But we wanted to talk about SCHDA. And I know this is really small. I apologize. Here, SCHD. I have 610. What did I say? Like 670 something? I don't even know. Anyway, 27.73 is the last price. My 610 shares, they have a cost basis of $25.04. We're up 11%. So I'm going to guess that might get a little bit of a boost. Maybe we'll see 28. And then I'm up on a lot, except here we go. That's not too bad. When I look at it this way, some of my big misses, but they're also some of the ones I put the most into, right? Vici down 9%. And Nike down 16%. Zoetis, I'm only down 18%. And then Portillo's down 24%. And Portillo's, my friend. But hey, what are you going to do? I'm holding Portillo's. That might be one I hold until I die, just because I just want to see what happens with it. I shared my thoughts with you about them. But hey, Cygnus Bob. All right. We're into the part of the program now, everybody, where apparently we're talking about famous Canadian rock bands from the 1970s. It's like a Jeopardy category. The category is Canadian rock bands. I don't think I can name any other than, I think Rush is the only one. I mean, I'm sure there's some that I know of that I don't know are Canadian, but Canada, not really known for their exportation of rock music. Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny, Bob, that you said about, and Schlumberger is in the SCHD top 20. I didn't know that. There he is. Summer of 69. Brian Adams is Canadian. Okay. Neil Young. There we go. This is what happens. You come to the Dapper Dividends live stream and you learn about Canadian musicians. Now, is Brian Adams rock? Is Neil Young rock? I would think so. I know the boys from Alabama, right? God, Leonard Skinner. I know they didn't like him. You missed it. What's up? We got Josh and Ryan both popping up at the same exact time. Dude, don't matter. I haven't been on one of your live streams in months, but it's your timing. I'm going to need you to shift your live stream time, because probably one of the most inconvenient times of the week for me is Friday evenings, right when you stream. It's very inconvenient. So when but when I come on your channel, obviously I make special accommodations for the one and only Mr. Williams. Which, by the way, we're out calendar shopping today. Why? I make the kids wait until after the new year because all the calendars were 40% off, and we didn't get them because at the mall, the calendar places, my oldest daughter wanted a Las Vegas calendar, didn't have them, and the younger one wanted a London calendar, which they didn't have. So guess what? They're ordering the calendars online. But oh, thanks. Yeah, and speaking of Canada, hey, there it is, the Dividend guy. He's from Canada, and I spoke with his sister-in-law, Vero, which was fun. Ryan's talked with them. And sunglasses at night, Corey Hart's Canadian. I lost my train of thought here. I did speak. We'll tie this in with rock as we're winding down here with Megadeth, right? I can guarantee nobody else has spoken Megadeth lyrics. And actually, Ryan, tell me, I'm not going to get off yet. Tell me, because I must confess, I have it in my playlist. I didn't listen to our interview yet. Did she leave it in when I said I said tout le monde, tous mes amis, je vous aime, je dois partir, which is from Tout le monde by Megadeth. So I'm not getting off till you let me know, Ryan. But did she leave it in? Because I made her laugh. Oh, good. Good. I knew it was right at the start. And I'm going to listen to it this week because I got to at least give them the play. And yeah, it's been a weird week with the holiday, and I'm backed up on my podcast. So I'm going to have to be selective about which ones I do. But yeah, there you go. I now hold the distinction of being an American that spoke French lyrics from a Megadeth song on the Dividend Guy Blog podcast. Somebody's going to have to top that sometime. But anyway, that has nothing to do with investing. We're just having a little bit of fun here right at the end. So, Ryan, thanks a lot for popping on, man. And for all the rest of you that hung out, dude, I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, if you're be so kind, leave a thumbs up on your way out as you hear Pee-wee. And I'll be back here again next week. We'll talk about something new. I don't know yet. We'll see. But all of you guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming by, and I'll talk to all of you in the very next one. See ya.